Hello and welcome to today's episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how manifestation meets business. Yes, so if you consider yourself a left brain type of person like I am, and my personality type is inclined to be a mathematical, analytical, rational person, then this video is for you, because in this video I'm going to talk about how I started seeing things differently, actually taking advantage of manifestation, law of assumption, law of attraction, quantum physics, etc., and how you can think and apply these things to yourself as well, for you to get success in your businesses and your lives as well. Grab a seat, grab yourself a bubble tea. Today we're bubbly, yeah? But again, what I want to focus on today's topic is how I'm applying actually manifestation to my business and my life, and how, if you are in any way, shape or form, you're doubting the success of manifestation, or you're doubting how this can work for you, this is what I'm gonna try to explain, maybe in my style, yeah? So I think it all comes down to one question that I was asked maybe when I was around 18. And there was this friend of mine, a few years old or something like that. He already wrote a book. He was like super smart, and we got chatting about the religion topic, yeah, God and blah 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 and all the rest. So me, having had grown up in a very religious Christian family, or my daddy was very much religious, and obviously like in what he believes in. So I had certain conception, I had certain beliefs in regards to that. So basically, when I got chatting to my friend back then, he asked me like, did you read the Bible? If you did, how many times? Do you feel like you know everything about religion and about this topic in particular? And my answer was no, I don't feel like I know everything about the topic. I know just an amount of things that I know them because my dad has been telling me them. So then he was like, maybe, and he was explaining the same thing, I don't know everything about this topic. And us now getting into a conversation that doesn't have any factual things, or someone that's actually really knowledgeable in the subject, doesn't make any sense. And we're getting into a this is right and that's right and blah blah blah. It's just based on us not proving to ourselves that those things are actually reality and a fact, and they work in that exact same way they were actually saying they are. Doesn't make any sense to continue a conversation on that topic, yeah? Like, let's go and grab some more knowledge, grab some facts, grab some experience, grab some, some proof, of ourselves, doing certain things, and then we can discuss about the topic. So, there is a big learning lesson there. It's not about the religion, about my conversation with my friend in that case, yeah? The learning lesson is the following, is that you cannot say you don't believe in something if you don't know everything about that something. To keep it very short and very straight to the point. If you're a logical person, you know very well. Do I know everything about manifestation? Do I know everything about law of assumption, law of attraction, quantum physics? If the answer is no, then you don't know if it's working or not. And the best way to test and try things out is to actually take that knowledge, take that information, and apply it in the right way. Now, obviously, applying it in the right way, why am I saying that way? Because many people apply things, but some things are explained in a very cryptic way that many people do not apply them in the right way at the end of the day, in the way that actually gets the results. Because it's obviously right or wrong and so on. In the ways that actually get results in the best possible way. So that's what you want to think about. If you don't know everything about the subject, do not say it doesn't work, because you're creating your own reality. Now, how do you apply the law of assumption? And I'm saying the law of assumption because there is not much on the law of attraction that I'm applying on a day-to-day basis, yeah? And even law of attraction, there are certain similarities with law of assumption. Now, the things that have been working for me so far are principles applied from law of assumption. First of all, something that might be extremely hard for rational left-brain people is to ignore the reality. Yeah, this is something that you want to actually ignore. Basically, you want to not take it in consideration. So what do I mean by that? You want to think about maybe certain goals that you have, but I would say 1 to 2 certain goals, no more than that, because the more you have, in my personal experience, in my personal opinion, is the harder you're gonna have manifesting it, because your brain, if you think about it, your life, you created your life, yeah. So basically, every single thing, we just need to remember that it is a product of our thinking. It's as simple as that. Whatever is our dominant thoughts on certain things, that's what we're getting. So, for example, if you assume you're a beautiful person, you are a beautiful person. If you assume you're a tall person, you are a tall person. If you assume you live in the best house, you live in the best house. If you assume you're earning this amount of money, yes, if you get that. If you assume you're with this type of person, etc. So whatever assumption, dominant thought you have, that's what you're actually experiencing in your real life. So I do believe one of the biggest things that logical people are going to struggle with is to ignore the reality. So for example, if there is something that you really, really want in your life, whatever it is, money, a relationship, a job, a progression, I don't know, anything, that health, certain physical aspect, etc. If there is anything that you feel like you really, really want, and it's opposite in your reality, you have to completely ignore that. So basically, if the reality is showing you that is not the way you want it to be, you have to completely ignore it, yeah? And that's gonna be hard. And you want to tell yourself a different story in regards to that. So if you're not making the 100K a year as you want to, but you're making 50, you're not gonna keep repeating to people and to yourself and to whoever's asking you about that. You're not gonna keep repeating, I'm making 50, I'm making 50, I'm making 50. Oh shit, how far away is this 100? When am I manifesting this 100? Oh, I'm only making 50, I'm only making 50. Oh my god, I cannot afford this because I'm only making 50. That's exactly the opposite of what you should be doing. Yeah, you want to think about things such as obviously you want 100K per year. I don't know why I do this example actually. You want 100K a year. So basically, if someone's asking you how much are you earning, like, it's good enough and I'm making more. Or you want to be vague about it, you don't need to actually give specifics out there. Or you can tell people I'm making 50, but in your head be like, oh my god, it's just a matter of days that I'm gonna be start earning 100K a year. It's just a short period of time until I'm gonna get to 100K a year. You want to ignore what's happening and say the reality of what you actually want it to happen. And I believe this is the hardest thing for left brainers to actually get their head around. Factual speaking, you're only closing 3 to 5% on a webinar, for example. I'm talking about businesses, yeah, that's my background. But guess what? That's not my reality, because I want to double that. So in my reality, I have to ignore the stats and assume and be in the state, be in the feeling, in the thinking of me closing more in a webinar than actually that. So you actually want to, whatever the stats, whatever the facts, the reality, this 3D is showing you, you want to tell yourself a different story, because at the end of the day, your life is just a story that you've been telling yourself. Yeah, I'm gonna get married, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna do this, I assume I always have this. These are just assumptions, the things that you have in your life. So you just have to change the assumption in order to get a thing. And now there are multiple ways on how you can change the assumption, but one of the best ways to actually do it is via changing the story. Now, this is the best way I can explain to you. If you want those 6 figures a year, now your story is that you already make 6 figures a year, yeah? So that's what you're gonna tell yourself, that's how you're gonna relate to everything around you, Joe Dispenza talks about the 5 senses, when you visualize and all of that. Now, if visualization is the tool for you to approach this, then go for the visualization. You can do affirmations, you can do scripting, you can do anything. The way I'm explaining it is just changing the story in regards to that. Now, you might know or you might not know, but from a scientific perspective, our brains are operating through 2 different ways, either through images, either through words. Now, if you're a left brainer, like myself, you're gonna most probably have words and numbers in your brain, yeah? If you're a right brainer, you're most probably gonna have pictures. Now, do I love visualization? I absolutely love visualization, and whenever I visualize, I feel like I just get another boost of energy. I'm clearer again on my goal. Whenever I feel, for example, like a moment of sluggishness throughout the day when I'm doing the things that I'm doing, etc., I just visualize again. I'm like, oh my god, this is why I'm doing this, and I just remind myself of the feeling, yeah. But on a day-by-day basis, what I'm mostly focused on is just repeating the new story. Now you can do that via affirmations, which is like the shortest way to do it, or just rampaging, or just like saying certain things that get you to the same result in a very simpler way. So if you want those 6 figures, you ignore everything. Oh my god, I love that bag. Of course I can afford it because I make 6 figures. I make the 100K. Oh my god, going on that holiday, absolutely. I'm gonna say yes to that holiday because I'm gonna be making 6 figures very, very soon. I'm gonna make 100K very soon. You just have to get into the habit of repeating those things to you, because right now you're making 50K. I'm not referring to you. I hope you get it. It's the exercise, yeah? Right now you're making 50K a year because you assume that you're making 50K a year, first and foremost. And second, because you keep telling yourself the same story that you're making 50K a year, which can be changed if you start telling yourself a different story. To give you another example with this, and something that some of you might be able to relate to, when it comes to therapy, yeah, and I know there are things such as guided meditation and things like that to help you get over trauma and get through those moments. Yeah, I've been to therapy myself. All of my friends pretty much went to therapy. It's just a tool that just helps you heal yourself, helps you, change maybe certain beliefs. It's just a helpful tool. Now, I'm not a person that really stands by having we call it therapy for a lifetime, because I do believe that's useless. Therapy should take a few months and that's it, to get over certain traumas, get over certain subjects. It shouldn't take you, years and so on. I mean, you should feel and assume that you're a healed, complete person and there's nothing wrong with you. But I've been to therapy, many of my friends have been, many of my friends still go on certain things. I think it really depends on the person and how they deal and manage their own emotions, yeah? But even in therapy, and I'm sure you have most probably spotted people around saying certain things like, do you know what, I'm so afraid of showing up on social media because when I was little, my parents always criticized me or expected, 10 out of 10 every single time from me. Or you might hear people say, do you know what, I always wanted to do this, but because 10 years ago my ex told me I cannot do it, I don't really think I can do it. Yeah, and it's like, this is something that you can apply in manifestation. It's like, and you see in these people, yeah, to get back to you, sorry, you see in these people that, yeah, but that's not the reality, and you also see that happened again a long time ago. Why are still hooked to what happened years ago, days ago, weeks ago, yeah? Why? Because that's already done and dusted. You know that from now on you can create literally a brand new life for yourself. And if you can see this in people around you, you should first and foremost be self-aware and spot it within you, and spot it whenever you think and say certain things, yeah? So this is from me on how to deal with left-brainers, rational people on manifestation. I'm gonna do this channel from now on is gonna be focused on business and manifestations, because you can have both passions and you can do both at the same time, yeah? And that was my limiting belief, and I'm being very honest about it as well. I'm teaching business and I'm talking property and online courses, all of that on all day long, and manifestation is always something that I'm literally applying every single day, and it's something that doesn't get away from my sight every single day. And I always had this belief that the both elements, because one is so rational and one is so spiritual, cannot go together, but they can actually go so well together. And I'm just looking at connecting with more people that, they have most probably similar beliefs around it, or most probably do the same things as I am. So with this being said, share the love, see you in the next video.